fell on the jetty once. I've only been truly scared a couple times, just in general. And I fell on the jetty once, and I fell into the water.
Ooh.
And like that, it kind of freaked me out a little. I mean, it was scary.
Yeah,
I feel like was I not this was when I was playing too. So it's like, was I not in the shape that I was in, like, or who I was at the, like, it would have been a really challenging moment had it not been me for somebody. And it scared me. Like, it fucked up my leg. And it was freaky. Like, I don't know. It was a pretty real moment. But then I'm like back out there, like running across rocks already. So it's like,
so didn't learn your lesson very well.
And like, in Chacos and like not the proper, just like
nice.
But you got your arm floaties on, so you're good. Right?
Yeah, I'm just like scurrying across the rocks, like trying to catch a coho and rockfish, and just like everybody's just shaking their head at me. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Cool. So do you want to give us a little background, man? Tell us kind of how Spawn came to be from what you
a couple of you guys have been there since day one. So we're at 4 years now as a company. We now have a fly shop, which I'm sitting in right now. This is the front of the fly shop. But it started as just a brand, and we're still strong on our brand. That is what we are and who we are. But we started out with some spawn heads, which you can see in Ryan's in his screen right there. And we pitched it hard, and we knew the product worked. We liked the product. We were passionate about the product. And then we built this community around what is Spawn. And I don't know, just listened to people, gave them our time, like became a part of what their journey was and our journey is, and what their journey continues to be. And we just built this community outside of that. And over the last 4 years, we've just kind of like chipped away, like little by little, like one step at a time. We sell a product, we stock another product, we sell a product, we stock another product. And now we've built this brand and this community and this shop that's like pretty special. And it's finally to the point where it's, I hope I still work other jobs, but I like hope I can like see that it could be a future, which is really exciting, as like a livelihood to like support a family, hopefully. So that's been really exciting. And over the course of 4 years, I've got to know a lot of really cool people and be a part of some really cool stuff. And then get to know Ryan and Rob. I've known for a long time. I've been fishing with Rob and haven't been fishing with Ryan yet, but would like to at some point. And I don't know. It's been a lot of work more than anything. It's evolved into this thing that just like, we've sold it as this, or I've sold it as this, is like, we're always available. So like, I'm working like so many hours a week. I hardly ever shut off. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. Like it reminds me of when I was like trying to, when I was first trying to get really into soccer, like what it took. So I like have that in the back of my head. So I remember those kinds of things of what it takes to be great. So I've just been trying to implement that into the fly fishing community. And yeah, I don't know. It's been fun, but
I love it. Dude. Just watching you grow and from the first time that we linked up and started talking, to when we went fishing. And I remember you talking, I'm thinking about doing this online stuff. And just you just saying, screw it, I'm going and sending it.
Yeah, so we now have 10,000 SKUs. I think like 10,000 and like 100 and something. We are a retailer for Sims. We're a retailer for Sage. We just signed up for Orvis. Like some of the biggest names in the industry now we have the pleasure of working with. But we also work with so many other smaller brands and companies and individuals. And I don't know, it's been something that we've like it's just constantly building. That's all it is. It's just, we don't have like some sort of thing where it's like, okay, this is it. I mean, we just want to keep growing what it means to shop with us, what it means to connect with us, what it means to connect with. I mean, there's been so many people like that have become friends that have met through ordering from us or seeing us on social and stuff like that. And I don't know, we just want to keep growing that.
And I love it because being a small company, and I love how you're so personal.
Oh yeah.
It's like funny thing is, I still have my letters from you. Yeah. I haven't
we've handwritten a note with every single order for all 4 years.
Wow.
And that's
there was one time when I forgot to write one, or like I forgot to put it in his envelope. And I found this dude on Instagram and I took a picture of it. I took a picture of it and was like, "Hey, I messed up, but just want to know,
man.
like, I really appreciate it." And like, he was pretty blown away, but it means something to us. It like really does. So it's like, it's important to me. And it's always like nerve wracking now when like somebody else is writing the note. Like if somebody was going to write a note to Ryan or Rob, I'm like, man, you gotta like ask how everything's going. Like these are like my pen pals for 4 years.
Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
So like that kind of stuff has been at the forefront of what we do. So it's been pretty cool.
Dude, I love that you brought up community, man, because I've been around, and watched you come from basically like, you're selling your heads. You basically had like a very small.
I mean, we were literally in my I have a funny picture. Like I posted it on Spawn, but then I took it down, and Rob might have commented on it, and I took it down because I didn't want people to. I don't know why I took it down. I should have left it up there. But literally, like there's this picture of me, Gab, Jen, and Kylie like on my bed where I slept every night, like counting materials.
Yeah, dude, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
And like, and I was like trying to explain in the post, like, that's not like a storage room. Like, that's where me and my girlfriend slept every night. Like, I had to take this stuff off the bed, organized, put it on the floor, and then when I woke up, wake her up too, and then put it back on the bed so that we can sell it. Like
disorganized chaos. I love it.
Yeah, it was a nightmare actually, but we survived.
So. Yeah, but dude,
you've been
ever since
online for 4 years. Sorry, you've been online for 4 years. And how long did you open your retail shop? How long ago?
This will be week 13 with regular hours.
Wow, right on.
I'll be there soon.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. It'll be cool. But yeah, 4 years. But go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
Yeah, I was saying, I getting back to the community, man. Like since day one, dude. I remember you were always like, if there's something you want to see in the shop, let us know. We'll carry it.
Yeah.
And you guys always stood behind that, like certain type of flash, a certain type of marabou. Let us know. We'll stock it. And that's awesome, man.
We still do that. I don't personally own a single Orvis product, but there's been people that have reached out to us, and not to take anything away from them. They're a phenomenal brand. I have a lot of close friends that love them, but like, it's not something that I was like, this is for me. Like this is for the people that support us, and it will continue to be that way. If they want it, we're going to truly go out of our way to like try and make sure that they can source it from us.
And dude, a perfect example is when I couldn't find an American hen, and you're like, "Yep, I'm getting it." And I think I bought every single olive one that you ordered in.
Yeah, man, those American hen saddles are hard to get now. Again, it's just like can't get them.
It sucks because that's what I tie my feather changers with, and it's like,
I know, and like there's like a couple shops that I swear like have every single one of them. I don't understand. Like, I just need to go there and like meet them and just like try and pitch them the whole Spawn story and be like, hey, let me get some of those olive American hens. Like,
for sure,
my boy Rob needs some, and it's important.
Yeah. So for those listening, Rob needs American hens.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple shops that probably have like 40 of them, and like I need to snag at least a couple.
Oh, no kidding.
But no, it's good.
But yeah, I just as an outsider, and being not only a customer but being a friend, dude. I just want to say I'm really proud of you, man. It's thoroughly amazing seeing the passion that you have in the industry and the love and support you have for the customers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the old school mom and pop shop, man. And it's just you come
Very much.
in and and the owners know your name. It's like you treat every single person as a friend, like you're a family friend
100%.
every single time it comes in.
I think something that I've tried to instill in everybody that's part of this that like here is working is the most valuable thing you can give somebody is your time. Like they don't care about what's on the shelf.
Yeah.
They do to an extent, but they can get that anywhere. You know, like
Mhm.
they're here because we will give them their time, and like they're reaching out to us because they know we'll respond. You know, it's like that's what we've tried to do at least. And
That's
that's what I'm
awesome.
trying to convey to everybody here is like, if there's the one thing that we can give somebody, it's our time. Like listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, that's huge. I just spent in a fly shop last week in Arizona, brand new shop that just opened up. And my buddy and I went, my buddy's brand new to fly fishing. That guy was with us for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
I
important.
mean,
yeah.
now I ended up buying $150 worth of stuff. That's run. He spent over 400. He spent over $400, and you still got to get a rod and stuff. But that is so important that people don't understand. And a lot of stores don't understand that, whether it's a fly shop or anything. So that's cool that you're pushing that. I think the right way. I've already experienced it somewhere else.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's definitely at the forefront.
Oh, for sure. So, how did Spawn start? I mean, what's your
Yeah, so there's me and a couple of my buddies sitting around the couch. At the time, I was playing soccer for a living. Really fortunate enough to do that. I was playing in the USL, which is say like the equivalent of AAA baseball for those not 100% familiar with it. And I was doing this fishing, like I was fishing a lot. And we knew that we had grown a community on my fishing page. And then we knew that my soccer career wouldn't last forever. It's just inevitable. Like you have to do something after. If you're a minor league athlete, that's the way it works.
Even
you
the
got to do
pros.
something immediately afterwards. And a lot of times you got to start it while you're playing. We looked at the industry. I was like, I'm obsessed with fly fishing. I'm passionate about it. I can do this sort of thing. And then, I mean, rods and reels, there's not like a easy entry to market, you know? Yeah. And so, I mean, what made sense was fly tying, to get into fly tying, like really get into fly tying and create a bunch of fly tying products that we saw as, a lot of our products like hover between two worlds, like conventional tackle and fly fishing. We bring ideas and elements from the conventional world and we try and implement them into a fly fishing setting where even a purist will pick up a Spawn product and be like, yeah, this makes sense. Like I'm on board with what this is trying to showcase. So we launched our Spawn heads. Shortly after, we launched several more Spawn products. And now I think we have 200 almost Spawn SKUs. And we specialize in fly tying, but now we sell hard goods. And we just saw that as something that was on the online side of things. There's some like really, really good online fly tying stores, especially now. But 4 years ago, there wasn't as many. And there wasn't as many doing what now everybody takes photos of every single product. You know, it's like become the norm. But I would say that we were on the forefront of setting that standard and showcasing the materials and figuring out how to get people tying constantly. And it's something that anybody can do. And that was how it all kind of started, is just like looking at the industry from the outside and then seeing an opportunity of where we wanted to enter, and one that would constantly keep you coming back. So it continues to build relationships. So like if you have somebody that buys, your buddy spent $400, like that's not common for us, you know, like ours are $20 here, $20 there, $20 in 4 weeks, you know? And so we constantly have, are like building a rapport with this individual. So that's where it becomes really valuable in building that community, because with fly tying, you're going to see them over and over and over again, given that you can make sure the experience is really good.
Heck yeah. And that's what I love about it. That's I think that's what really sets you aside, of being able to come back. I mean, there's been times where I've come in and I've spent like $5-6, got a few heads. And then there's been times I've come in and I've dumped 120, $175 with some shit. And so, but it's just that coming back, and like you said earlier, we can go anywhere and get it. I mean, it's just, I mean, shit, you can get anything on the internet right now. I mean, it's
especially during COVID. I mean, it was especially like the outdoor industry just didn't used to like online. Now every single person that was like, why are you selling fly fishing stuff online, now has like dumped like $100 grand into building the most robust website, and like yeah.
And so talk about tires. I gotta give some mad props. Dude, Pete is amazing.
Yeah, he's moving to Oahu. He's moving here.
Oh, you've got to let me know when he comes up.
Yeah, he is moving here. He is moving.
I'm so glad he's gonna move up here.
It's happening. It is truly happening. So he'll be awesome. He'll be boots on the ground here in Oahu, just like working day and night. So it's gonna be pretty cool. And it's kind of what needed to happen. We've gotten to that point. It'll be really challenging at first, just make sure we keep food on the table for everybody, you know, but like it's going to be good. And it's something that's, from a tying perspective, there's not many on that kind of level and knowledge. I went into a bookstore with him in Portland, and I mean, I would like to say that I've read some books, but I mean, once you get to hang out with me a little while, you know, I have not read any books. I read some articles. I stay in the loop, but Pete, this guy literally dropped like $3,000 at the bookstore. Yeah. He bought every single fly fishing book that he had never heard of. He didn't even know who the authors were. The guy has like a fly fishing library that's hundreds and hundreds of books. He knows not only does he know who made the pattern or created the pattern, he knows the history of it, and then the history of all the materials used, the history of the hook, where that guy grew up, what his favorite fish to catch was. It's just like,
so
that's amazing.
To give you guys a little heads up, he's an amazing guy. I've talked to him on the phone. I've chatted with him a few times. Lives in the middle of fucking nowhere, though.
Oh, he doesn't have internet. Let's throw that out there. He texted, he get this. This is what's so epic. And you're gonna listen to this some point, and it's all love. But he sent me a picture. He sent me a picture and was like, gearing up for Washington, and got my map, and it's like one of those old atlas, books. I was like, dude. I was like, you know where you're gonna have cell phone service and Wi-Fi, right? Like,
right. Google Maps on your phone, maybe.
I was like, I could. It was so funny. I was like dying. Awesome. I was like, man, I cannot wait for this guy to get here.
Dude, that's gonna be
how old is he? 25, 26? He sounds like a pretty young guy.
No, he's older. Like, so he's all in.
Oh, yeah, like my age or Dave's really old, like Dave.
Really old.
He's probably around mine. He's probably mid 40s, 50s or so.
Yeah.
And so
he's one of your. He's one of your two partners. You said you had started this with two other guys.
Yeah, he was one of four. Yeah.
Oh, one of four. Okay.
Yep.
How many partners are there now?
So there's 5 of us in total. 4 of us grew up together, and then Pete we onboarded, and then I'd be like the president, CEO, whatever, majority shareholder, whatever you want to call it. But
cool. Oh, we call it the boss.
The boss.
Boss man.
You're the boss.
So it's part-time for all of you, or is anyone full-time on it?
So nobody takes a paycheck.
Okay.
But we're all full-time.
So that's pretty cool.
So you're all broke.
Yeah.
No wonder there's no food on the table.
Yeah. Thankfully, like, Oahu works for me to be working so much because my parents have a house down here. So rent is doable. So like that's a big part of it. But
Right on.
No, nobody does take a paycheck at this point.
Which I
so.
think is impressive. I mean, it's just that you don't get a lot of guys, especially younger guys, coming into the industry like that, where they understand that you're gonna eat like ramen noodles for a hot minute if you want this to be successful.
I mean, I eat a lot of fish. I fish a lot.
Right on. Nothing wrong with that.
So you're not fishing for sport. You're fishing for dinner.
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah.
Sustenance. Yes.
I got it. Yeah.
Did you keep your catch today? You
No,
said you were out catching coho?
Yeah, the adult coho that I caught today, the one that it was a real fish, like I don't know, it's probably 10 pounds. It was a wild fish. So all wild fish we returned. So
cool. Right on.
But hatchery fish on the dinner table.
Heck yeah. And so
sounds like you work a hell of a lot. Do you have time to fish much or not really?
So yeah, so usually, I mean, I wake up early and I'm in the shop. I try to be good about leaving the shop at 5:30 or right around then, and then I'm on the water immediately.
Oh wow.
And then so we're open if the post office is open, and this might change at some point because we've had some complaints, but I don't. Yeah, so right now we're open Monday through Saturday. That's when the post office is open, and we close at 12:30 on Saturdays because that's when the post office closes. And then we don't show up Sunday. So Sundays I fish all day.
Okay.
And Saturdays I fish till dark. Yeah, like my girlfriend asked me, like, when should I worry? And I say tomorrow.
Yeah.
If
the sun's coming up and I'm not there yet,
tomorrow. But yeah, we might have to change that. But I do get out and fish a lot. Not as much as I used to. So when we were online only, I would wake up early, fill any order if we had one, straight out to the water.
Yeah.
And then monitor my phone, answer any calls, any texts, any emails, Instagram messages while I was out there usually. Get back and then finish out the day. So
heck yeah. Are you doing guided trips or are these
No, I don't guide at all. We don't currently sell the experience. We just sell
products. Okay.
Nobody's asking for it then.
No, a lot of people are asking for it.
Yeah.
Just you're not comfortable with that, or you don't want to go that way, or
that's a lot to bring. That's a lot to bring to the table for the Pacific
Northwest. I understand that's a lot.
Gonna need a bigger boat probably.
I mean, people want. I think people would want the authentic spawn experience. They would.
There you go.
And they'd be like, "I want you to drag me out on the jetty, and we'll."
Hey, it can't be any worse than, "Hey, Josh, want to come fish with me? Oh, there's your boat. By the way, it has a hole in it, and it leaks a little bit.
Nice.
Here's the pump. Good luck."
Yeah, he handed you a bucket or something. He handed you a pump. Unless he had a pump.
At some point, I might. I don't have a 6-pack, which if I was gonna do it, I'd want my own boat and like not the little whaler, and I'd want to go offshore and do stuff that like is weird, and I mean I get a kick out of, and not everybody does, and like
I think
try and chase some crazy fish, and I don't know, just go out there and see what you can catch, sort of things, but. I also my CPR. So I looked up recently to do it just because there's a lot of people that want to pay for lessons, for fly fishing lessons. And in my experience, the best way to learn is to like truly go out there with them, but not in the parking lot.
Yeah, right. On the water.
Like I can go out there and show them how to cast a fly rod, but it's not going to be the same as if I took them out to a river and was like showing them the ins and outs. And that's too close to guiding that I need to have. I need to have it legit if I'm going to do something like that.
Because you're going to have to cover, like I said, CPR. You're going to have to cover the freaking insurance.
Yeah, you got to get insurance. There's a lot to go with it.
So, and we have a lot of really good relationships with guides, especially in the Puget Sound area. Not so much in Ilwaco yet. It's not a huge fly fishing community, but we do hope to build some relationships like that, because I love sending them to other people. It's just a continuation of what we've already talked about. Like I don't need a percentage. tell your clients to come back and get their fly tying stuff. Tell them to get their new pair of waders, you know, and if we have a rod that we don't carry, like tell them to reach out and see if it's something we can get, you know, like that's what we've done with a couple guides, and that relationship works out really well. I don't have to worry about booking something. I don't have to worry about canceling anything. I just point the arrow and say that's your guy or that's your girl, and go fish with them. And so
that's awesome.
I could definitely understand that. I mean, it's just like I looked at becoming a guide around here, and it's just like, especially inland, it's kind of a shit show. You have a smart idea of going offshore. A lot of people don't realize. I mean, everybody looks at the Pacific Northwest, and the first thing they think is salmon steelhead.
Yeah,
there's just like the fishing out here is truly amazing. I mean, we've got so many species. We've got probably more species just in the Columbia than most states have in their whole entire state.
Yeah,
it's just like it's crazy.
It's a pretty crazy place. I mean, yesterday I was out catching sharks all day on fly rod.
What kind of shark?
On purpose?
Blue sharks. I want to be the first person in Washington to catch a mako shark on a fly rod, but it was a really bad tuna season. I didn't catch tuna this year, which is
on a fly rod.
Yeah, I was gonna use fly rod, but like all the sharks were on fly rods, but the makos kind of circle around with them, and we were hoping to go out into the blue. We call it the blue water. It's I don't know. It looks like the tropics. Honestly, it's pretty hard to describe. But I wanted to go out there and try and catch a mako on a fly rod, but didn't happen.
They go that far north?
Crazy.
I didn't realize makos went that far north.
They'll follow the tunas.
Like sometimes you'll reel in a tuna and it's like it like looks just solid.
Yeah.
And some people catch them out here every now and then, like some of the charter fleet or the commercial boats will catch one, and it's cool. So, and I love it. I think the sharks are pretty rad. So
that's definitely
we did hook a blue shark though yesterday, and as we were reeling in a blue shark, a big shark. It was a proper shark. Tried to eat this shark.
Holy crap! That's crazy.
I know.
There's always a bigger fish, isn't there?
There's always a bigger fish. I need to mount like next. I want to do it proper. There was a camera guy that was supposed to come with us, and then he had a family health emergency, COVID related, and couldn't come. And but it would be cool to like mount GoPros on the underneath of the boat too, so you could see them all. Cause
oh wow.
I mean, there's a lot. It's not like you're waiting for something to happen. I mean, a lot of them are 2 to 3 feet long, but then they get 6 feet pretty fast. Like some bigger ones will show up really quick.
There's a big food source right there.
Yeah, I fished in Florida this year, and I got onto a shark. The boat captain and I were standing there, and we both happened to look off to our right. A 6-foot flash, and both of us went to each other. Was that a shark? And
wow.
5 minutes later, he hit my line. In the next 20 minutes, we were chasing him all over God's creation. I mean, I got him up to the boat, and once he saw the boat, it was like a U-turn. Poof.
Yeah.
He actually went to shallow water. This guy knew what he was doing.
Huh.
And after 20 minutes, I asked the captain, "Are we pulling this in?" He goes, "Probably not." We snapped him free. So it was a lot of fun. He was tough. It was tough.
That is cool.
Yeah.
What's one of your most memorable stories being out there on the water, Josh? Like craziest fish? Or
scary.
Something real memorable that, I mean, you're out there a lot, so it's got to be good to stick out.
Yeah, I read over the questions you guys sent over, and I was really trying to think about that one. I don't know if I've caught that fish yet. I mean, I've had some. I do some marketing work for a pet food company, shameless plug, Wellness Pet Food. You'll see me shamelessly plug them all the time on my personal page.
That's great. We'll put up a link.
No,
is there a small fee being kicked back?
No, I'm not.
Put a link up.
I mean, I work for them. Like it's like I do a bunch of stuff for the company, and they're a fantastic company to work for. It allows me to keep doing this.
Right on.
And but no, I don't have like. It's not like
No, we get it. We get what
Okay.
you're doing. You're taking care of yourself, and
it's like a real job. It's like a real job.
Right. Which we're all trying to avoid.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Is there one you're targeting? Because you said you haven't caught it yet.
No, but to go into the story, they helped us go to Mexico, and we're not a fishing trip on the Baja side. And I'm like brought my fly rods out there, and it's windier than all get out, and like I see this jack of some sorts, like this big, just rolling like 100 feet off the shore. And there's a picture of me out there just fighting the waves, just over and over and over.
Are you up to your chest or your shoulders? How deep in the water were you?
No, the Baja is kind of weird. Like those waves crash, and they like kind of pull. They kind of pull. So like, at least where I was, it kind of like sucks you almost out. But that would be the one that I was like, I thought for sure I was going to catch it, and it just like never happened. And like, it just brutal. And I'm just like such a stubborn person too. I like, just like stuck with it. And Kylie's just on the beach, just like rolling her eyes at me. And
holding a margarita. Come on, let's go.
As far as like memorable fish go, though, there's been a couple sea run cutthroat that have been just like substantial fish, and people that don't fish for the species a lot of times like look at it and it's like a 20-inch fish, and it's just like
I'm sorry, like, I missed that name. What was that name?
A sea run cutthroat.
Cutthroat,
like one of my favorite trout. It's definitely my favorite trout species to target. We target them in the salt water, and a 20-inch sea run cutthroat is a substantial fish, and they fight like a steelhead, you know. And
what do you use it for rod equipment? 8, 10 weights?
No. I use a 5 weight. Like
for that?
Yeah, I use 5 or 6 weight. But they like just go crazy, you know. And there's been a couple of them that I just see that just like you see them swimming around, and it's just like, man, like you just. I don't know. There's been a couple that I've caught. There's been a lot that I've seen that I'm just like, man, that was the one. Like that's the one that like I put on the wall, just like take a bunch of pictures of it and measure it or something. And I don't know what you need to do. I need to ask. Like,
well, you need a good taxidermy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
they can make that exactly.
I know. I've read that all you need is like a picture of the fish now.
Right, those guys are good. They're good.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill the fish to get it.
Exactly. No, you can't harvest these fish, so that's part of it. And I wouldn't want to kill one, but exactly. I haven't caught that fish. I haven't done it. I haven't had that experience yet.
So how far inland have you ever fished? I mean, have you gone to Idaho? Have you gone to Colorado? Have you gone to Wyoming, Montana?
Yep, I've been to all those places. Yeah, so I
to fish.
Yep.
Okay.
Right on.
I lived in Colorado for 4 years.
What part?
Colorado Springs.
Okay.
So
almost 4 years. It was like 3 years, 8 months or so.
Now, is that where you started your soccer career?
Correct. Yep.
So
that was where I signed my first professional contract.
Yeah, cool. I remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty rad. It was. I mean, Colorado was cool too because the owner of these clubs. I mean, they're obviously pretty wealthy individuals, and he had a big ranch on the Terriall. It's called. It's I don't know. The Broadmoor. The Broadmoor has a camp on the Terriall to just. I mean, the Broadmoor is an insane hotel.
Yeah, my brother lives out there. He's taking me. He likes to walk the grounds because he can't afford to do anything else.
Yeah. It's like a hotel where you like go there, but like don't stay there. Like,
yeah, exactly. He was like,
right.
He and his wife, who was a fly fisherman, they're like, "Hey, Gary, they have a fly fishing package." Well, all right, what's it about? Well, it's $2,000 a night.
Phew.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, the cool thing about that is the owner of the club had a big ranch, like 2 parcels down from the Broadmoor fishing ranch. So like they're pumping this area full of big fish, you know, and then they're taking really good care of it. They do all kinds of stream restoration work. You know, it's an authentic Colorado experience, but like pumped up with some success, like
awesome.
you're not gonna know, like,
you're not
Right.
walking out there empty-handed.
no.
Well,
You're gonna catch some fish. Like you're gonna have a very high success
those
rate.
people have fish stories because they paid for the story.
Yeah,
So-
but like, anyways, I got the owner let us go there and fish. So like after
Awesome.
practice, I'm like bombing up to the mountains. It allowed me to like really become a better angler is what it allowed me to do, because there was pike in there too, and there were some like really hard to catch big brown trout that have been fished at for years, and but there was always that big triploid that you could just guarantee on if you weren't having a good day. You could walk up to the beaver pond where you knew they all were sitting and
Chuck across there, like this is a guarantee.
You're talking about a stick and 10 foot of line and a hook. I'm golden.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a sweet area. And I'd go up there with one of my teammates, and then another teammate of mine the year after that, and it was a blast.
Did you ever go to Cincinnati to play? Cincinnati had a minor league team.
Yeah, they did. I've never been there.
I miss it much. I'm sorry, Cincinnati.
No, I've never been to Cincinnati. One of the few places I haven't played.
They tried to go pro, but they wouldn't let them.
I think they got an MLS team, didn't they?
No, I think they do now. I've been out for 3 or 4 years. Yeah, they built a stadium. So I think that they finally said, all right, you guys are coming in. So,
but yeah, I've had some friends that have played there.
It's huge. It's huge. Is it still huge? I've lost track of it.
Yeah.
Where I'm at, there's no soccer at all.
Yeah, no, it's still a pretty big deal, and
it's big here.
Oh yeah.
The two timbers are big. Yeah, can't fuck around with those guys.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So you've got the opportunity to fish all over the West, and you're living in an awesome area.
Yeah.
So what would be your dream trip then?
I was thinking about that. It would be something remote. It wouldn't be. I always joke for like my bachelor party, I want like me and my buddies to just like pay somebody in like the Southeast Asia or something to just drive us to an island and leave us there. Pick us up.
No, I get that.
Awesome.
But it would be like something like that, where like you go to an atoll or you go up into Alaska and just get dropped off. Like it wouldn't be at like some lodge. It wouldn't be at some like place that we all think of. It would want to be like some sort of off the grid where, yeah, you're targeting whatever's there, frankly. I do really want to catch a wahoo. That's like a dream species on the fly for me. It'd be pretty exhilarating. I don't know if I could strip a streamer fast enough, but we can try. But that would be pretty cool.
What about a tarpon?
I've never caught a tarpon. I've never seen a tarpon. Actually, I take that back. I did see a tarpon once, but I didn't have an opportunity.
Everybody chases tarpon. Just me personally, it's like tarpon's not even on my list to chase. It's just like
because you're in the wrong. I will catch a tarpon, so I got to think of like some place that you wouldn't think about going.
Tarpon's
like
on
like a random atoll or something like that, or just some like island down off of Belize that like isn't really an island, and they just kind of leave you there.
Heck yeah. It's like here's your lighter and your axe. Good luck.
Yeah, well, one of my buddies last year got dropped off in Alaska. Like this is a buddy of mine that like doesn't hunt or anything too, and he called me and he's like, dude, I can't, it's too hard for me to buy a gun. Like, can I borrow one? And I was like,
what part of California is he from?
Yeah, I was like, yeah. And he's like, I was like, have you ever shot a 45? And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, well, come down first before you try and think you're gonna protect yourself. But anyways, he went out with a buddy that was from the area, and they got helicoptered in, and it wasn't expensive either, because basically they just like left him in Alaska. We're like, you signed something that's like, we're not coming back. Like,
good luck.
Yeah, and he floated like 45 miles or something ridiculous.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, he like it was left in some lake that like connected to some river that went into another lake that went into some stream that connected to a river. Like, I don't know, he had it all mapped out. And at the top he was catching big like char and grayling and then he moved into big rainbow, and then by the end he was catching coho after coho, and it sounded nuts.
Damn.
Like they saw grizzly bears like every day.
Awesome.
It was a pretty real. It was like just a pretty real trip. It sounded like, and just fishing was insane. They literally used mouse patterns the entire time. I think they even caught some grayling on mouse.
Dang. That is so cool.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, something like that would be like my dream trip. Like that would be. I would like to do that with him at some point. And like I said, it was relatively inexpensive. Like he just had to pay to get his raft up there basically. And then he paid to like he pre-ordered all his food and stuff and had it delivered somewhere up there, and I don't know.
Oh heck yeah. I mean, if you played it smart, and that's the way to do it. Get everything up there, get it pre-set up.
Yeah.
And then just and not deadlines. Deadlines is what will cost you money. I mean, it's like, hey, I have to get this up there by this time. But if you pre-prep and have it all up there, and like, I'm coming up this, can you get all this stuff up there before I get up there?
I've also just never been to like a fancy lodge to fish. Like maybe I just don't know, and maybe just whatever. Like maybe
maybe you had to put that in your
Orvis contract. A steak would be pretty nice, Like I don't know. I get it. I get it. I understand.
When you get older, like a few of us here, you'll enjoy that stuff. Right now, no. Just eat the dry food, you guys. I had a fly shop when I lived in Arkansas. They had a trip every year to Alaska, and it was same thing. They flew us in, dropped us off, and I'm sorry I didn't do it, but I wish I had. And but they had 5 tents. One of them was the kitchen tent or the eating tent. They had a chef there.
That's fun. Yeah.
And I go, "What's the name of the river?" They go, "There's no name for the river. there's no name. The river's not named." But that was $1,000 a day. And
my buddy was eating like the packable meals. You just put hot water in them.
Like Mountain House.
Exactly.
Mountain House and granola bars.
Yeah, literally Mountain House, granola bars, and a ton of fish. Like,
I'm having trout again.
That would be awesome.
Dude, there's some tasty Mountain Houses out there.
There is.
There are.
Dude, I'm all about Mountain House. Dude, Mountain House is
and they're not even a sponsor yet.
Mountain House is an Oregon-based company, and so I'm all about it. They're out of Albany,
super light.
In Oregon.
Yeah. All you need is a water source.
Yep. I actually have like 7 bags of Mountain House sitting over there on my shelf, to be honest. I love that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Great stuff. That's good stuff. Oh,
I've got another question for you, Josh. With all your time out on the water, we got to hear an embarrassing, crazy, some kind of story.
Fall out of the boat.
What's your most embarrassing experience out there?
Most embarrassing. I also read this question, and this isn't on the water, but it's so embarrassing that like at some point it's got to get out. And I was like,
This is the time.
Yeah, this is the day. Let's go.
This is the place.
We're not paying you for this.
This is so bad that like I still like. I like if I think of myself as like pretty on my game, but it goes back to this. It literally went back to the community. So this guy, great customer of ours, who I will never name in this situation. Maybe someday he'll tell the story, but he's asking me about the shop, and he's like, I'm gonna come down. This is when we first bought the shop, and we're like tearing stuff down, like we got stuff everywhere, and there's fly fishing and fly tying stuff all over the place. And he's like asking me how the shop's going. And literally I was going to the bathroom, and I'm responding to this guy on Instagram. And he's like, dude, I got to see it. Like, show me what the shop is. And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like in the middle of doing something. And I was like, you know what? Like, I click. I got all the security cameras on my phone. So I click on one that's like wide angle, the whole front area. And like, don't really think anything of it, screenshot it, send it over to him. He's like, wow, that's so cool. And then he goes, wait a second, are you pooping? Like if you zoom in, like this guy had to have zoomed in. Like if you zoom in to the far corner of the shop.
No way.
Which he did.
The door was open and
the door was open and I was in the shop by myself.
Wait, did you take that picture from the shitter?
Oh no! It was on. I clicked on my security camera. I clicked on the security camera that had like the wide angle of the whole shop.
But you poop with the door open apparently.
Well, I was the only one here. I've been the only one here most of the time. Like,
I didn't ask if anybody else was there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fine.
It was so embarrassing. I like couldn't even. I didn't even know what to say. Like I didn't know this guy well enough. Like I was just.
Wait. What was your answer? Yes, no. How'd you cover that one?
I was like, dude, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I was like, delete that picture. I'm like trying to like find the unsend on Instagram as fast as I can. Like,
where's the button? I need to make that fuzzy. Where's the button to make that fuzzy?
Awesome.
It was the most like that was it was properly embarrassed. Like I did not. It wasn't like yeah, it was bad.
No, that's great. That's awesome.
I don't honestly. I need to look up to see if he's bought something since, but it was bad.
He's gone. You lost that.
You ought to just send him something, like
taking
roll of toilet paper. Thinking of you.
I told my business partners, and they're like, I had the photo because I like saved it before I like unsend or whatever, and they like. It's their favorite thing ever. They're gonna make a Christmas card out of it some year.
Like, I hope so.
They should, yeah.
I hope so.
With a big old red arrow. Look here.
Yeah, because you won't notice it. Like if you just like looked at it really quick, like if you wouldn't notice it. Like the crazy thing is like he had to zoom way in and then like
that's some dedication. That's some dedication zooming in on that one, man.
Well, that's scary that he did that too. What the hell? I wouldn't have thought of doing that.
I mean, he was probably just like looking at the shop. He was probably just like trying to get everything.
Oh, you're right. What's over here? What's over here?
What
the hell is this?
You're just so lucky I never got a hold of that. I would have blown that back up and sent it right back to you. And like, hey.
Yeah, so do us a favor, Josh. Josh, send that to us. We won't do it.
Send it to us. Yeah, we'll put a link on the podcast to it.
Just the four of us will laugh at your expense.
That is hands down my most embarrassing moment related to fly fishing because I was in the fly shop and it was about the fly shop.
God, 50% of us in this room have fallen out of a boat, and you didn't even go near that. You win.
I fell out of a boat, like whatever at this point.
That would have been an upgrade.
I would have rather fallen out of a boat. Wouldn't have been embarrassing. I would have just brushed it off. I would have been like, whatever.
That's good stuff, buddy. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. Yeah, I thought about it for a while after I read Ryan's email, and I was like, this might be the venue. This might be that story comes out.
No, we appreciate you sharing that.
And what's the guy's email address? We want to talk to him.
Yeah, he's gonna be on the podcast next.
Yeah, he's our next guest. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, man.
Funny.
So, Josh, dude, you fish a little different waters than I know that I do, and probably some of these listeners as well. So you're doing some ocean stuff, man, like Pacific Northwest ocean stuff.
Yeah.
So how do you go about like reconning that type of water? I mean, what are you doing? Are you just kind of dropping stuff off deep, or what? Walk us through that.
Yeah. So a lot of it is not new, but it's not like it's too old. So there's not a lot of information on a lot of the fisheries that I've done. Like you hear about people that used to do it, like, but if you were to Google it or look it up, like there's not a lot of information on what to do and how to do it. And, which is awesome, so it's like for like the rockfish and lingcod, and that kind of stuff, we're basically just trying different stuff every time. Like
But are you posting that stuff? Or are you keeping it close to the vest?
No. I mean, I want to sell. Yeah, this is what I do.
Right. Well, I mean,
he's very open about it.
Their information. That's my point.
I mean, it's not the difference. The difference between this is that like this isn't a trout stream.
Right. You're a secret trout.
Somebody's
stream.
Sacred spot.
Right.
And this has like a really unfortunate pay to play that weeds out a lot of people. You got to have a boat, and not just any boat. Like you got to have a legit boat to cross the Columbia River Bar.
And you got to know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, and the
Well, just
gear's got to be right, and
go out to the Pacific.
I wish it was. I honestly wish it was more accessible. Like if the water was like it was in California here, like it would be so much easier for us to get people to come see us in Oaxaca, because it's a huge challenge for me right now. It's like, how do we draw people out here? And which has forced me to like learn the jetty, truly learn it, and figure out what I got to do each time differently. Because there isn't a playbook for it really. Like there isn't, and if there is one, I haven't read it or seen it.
But you're writing it. You feel like you're writing it, or are you writing it?
I'm not writing anything, no, but I'm sharing what I learned.
That's writing. That's what I meant by writing. I didn't actually mean put it in a book.
Yeah.
But you're sharing it, so you are technically writing it.
Yep, and the good thing is, I do fish conventionally a lot, and my father isn't an avid fly fisherman by any means. He loves to fly fish with me, and it's really special that we do that kind of thing together. But when he can, he will be using a conventional rod. But what's important about that is we've spent years out there learning where these fish are, and how to target them on conventional gear, and then figuring out how to replicate that on a fly rod has been fun, and tweak it, like we don't troll in 4 feet of water like I'm casting in out in Baker Bay. We're out in the mix, trolling in the main stem. So, but I'm remembering like, what are we looking for, and this and that, and then trying to figure out how can we be successful on it. But
have
like,
you got a lingcod on the fly? Because they're usually down deep, aren't they?
They usually are, yeah. But we fish some rock structures that completely come out of the water. I've caught countless lingcod on the fly.
Yeah,
I actually had 2 lingcod on the fly at one time.
That's
so
crazy.
Josh is going to be my link up to when I go chase lingcod on the fly.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
he just doesn't know.
Nobody else to do it?
Actually, the Newport jetty is way easier to fish than the Columbia River jetty, which is closer to you, Rob.
Yep.
And I've actually caught a lingcod off that jetty on a fly rod.
I am actually chasing my first saltwater this year off Newport. I'm gonna go. We're gonna go spend the weekend over there here in a couple weeks, and
that'll be pretty rad. Yeah. But yeah, and then the offshore stuff. I mean, there's a couple guys that I like really follow what they do closely. But like when it comes to like trying to catch a mako on a fly, there's no, that does not exist, and this year like wanted to do a bunch of albacore on the fly, and there's a couple people that do that a lot. But for the most part, a lot of this stuff in the Pacific Northwest is it's not really thought of as like an offshore fishery at all. So like if you're gonna do it, you gotta just be willing to fail and like willing to learn and not get frustrated, because there's definitely been a lot of times where I've like not caught something.
Yeah.
It looks like we have a lot of success, but there's been a ton of failures. So
and that's what I love
on the jetty. Like I've fallen in, I've broken multiple rods. I dropped a reel. If you ever fish the jetty, never put your gear together on the jetty.
No.
I literally like trying to put my reel in the reel seat, and I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure everybody's dropped a reel at some point.
No,
dropped it. It tinged on the rock and went down into the hole.
Yeah, and those holes, like if they're going, you're not going in.
It's gone. I literally could see it, but it's gone. like there's no way to get it back.
And so
so like there's been tons and tons of failures for that kind of stuff. I hooked something out of it's this rock right here. We're rock fly fishing on that rock. I hooked something that like just took all my line.
Like wow.
Just at first you were excited about it.
Just
like what the hell?
Like
that was that shark you were after.
No, I mean, I don't know what it was. Probably a lingcod or maybe a halibut or something.
But for the first couple minutes, you're going, "Oh, I love that sound."
Yeah.
Then you go, wait a minute.
Boom, boom. It's not the bottom. The boat's not moving.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It just.
So, walk us through your setup. What do you got? You got a sink tip line? Are you running? You're fishing like some toothy fish, right? Are you running wire leaders or?
Yeah, no wire leaders. So like mostly just 20 pound, just straight mono. Usually do the job. A lot of times I'll fish 30-pound though. Like I'll beef it up. Jig oriented flies from the jetty exclusively. Offshore I'll use just a lot of standard saltwater hooks. Do use a sink tip line off the jetty. But then offshore, lately I've been running like a triple density from Scientific Anglers, and it gets down quick. Like that's kind of what you need. I've messed around with like some custom cut lines, like Airflow does some custom cut, but then it's just like, I don't know how many feet of like T400 it is or whatever.
Yeah.
You can just cut it. You can cut it however much you want it. And we've messed around with that a little bit too. But yeah, and then I'm using so for black rockfish, you can catch them on a 6-weight. And the other day I went live on Instagram and I was catching them on a 5-weight, but like if I had hooked into something real, like it would have broke my rod.
Yeah, I can't imagine you pull out a 5-weight. That just blows me away.
I didn't have any floating. Like I was trying to get one to eat a popper, and I didn't have any floating line on anything other than a 5-weight. Why
do you even have a 5-weight? That's what blows me away. Weight 8 should be the smallest. No, let's grab the little rod. What?
Yeah. So that like kind of goes to show you like how I'm fishing. If the only rod I have in my arsenal with a floating line is a 5-weight.
That's scary. That's scary stuff.
Those are the only other two. I had a 5-weight or a 3-weight. 3-weight's not happening.
Wait, what? It's the 3?
Yeah, no, I would never do that. But so
sure.
Yeah.
Except on Tuesdays.
Yeah, exactly.
Tuesdays 3 weights. I don't know why, but it is.
But no, so a lot of that kind of stuff. Big spawn flies, a lot of times, peaches, shrimp colors, a lot of jig shank flies.
So you're doing a lot of stripping, pulling.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're fucking throwing meat, Gary.
Josh,
I'm not bending the line if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. How do you do that? Is it like big tip over? I'm a non-stripper, and I'm surrounded right now by strippers. Dave's gonna keep these other two.
Or not a lot, but when I can, I do.
Well, okay. Well, ask these guys. Did I get you material the other night? What was that? 2 or 3 weeks ago? What? I got you the material, right, guys? Where did I get it from?
The dryer lint.
Here you go. Thank you, Dave. Here, throw this. The dryer lint. So I'm not a stripper. Those guys enjoy their stripping.
It's all about throwing meat.
It's all about throwing.
Shit, Josh, I could technically say Josh and even Ryan were with me when I caught my biggest bass. And
so, you talking about online? Like
yeah.
You had your video? Yeah.
I was on the phone with you.
Yeah.
And Josh was up in the corner, and we were laughing because Kodo was trying to swim across the lake.
Yeah.
Trying to swim
multiple times.
Fish, dog. What was that, Kodo?
And so
that's my dog.
Yeah, it's cool.
Thank you.
Super cool dog. But yeah,
a good swimmer apparently.
He's a great swimmer. Yeah, he doesn't get to come with me on the jet. Like that's the one thing that kind of bums me out about some of these fisheries here is the jetty just is not dog friendly at all. I would never recommend somebody bringing a dog.
Is it human friendly?
Barely.
Yeah.
No, it's not either, right?
The jetty? No. Yeah, the jetty.
No, doesn't sound
marginal,
like it.
Marginal at best.
Yeah, I grew up in California. There was not a friendly jetty, you know.
Oh, the California jetties make that look. That's like a sandy beach compared to this.
Right.
Compared to ours.
Yeah, I understand now. There's a huge difference. So I can imagine.
It's a 180, and it's like, but yeah, it's just. I love your. So, I'll pick your brain a little bit, Josh. What's your favorite head of yours?
The sniper head is definitely it's the
Mine
most
too.
versatile. It pushes a ton of water.
What the hell is
range
that?
Of hooks.
For the guys that don't.
Well, when you want to grow up and start tying meat, we'll explain it to
you. My wife doesn't do enough laundry for me to tie meat. So
you have one on your microphone there, Ryan? Pick it off and hold it up.
Mine's got some Gen 1s there. Those I would honestly
Gen 1
hang on to those.
These are old school heads right
there. Yeah, hopefully Ryan, someday that we can become something special enough that those are collectors. My Pokemon cards are worth quite a bit of money now.
Yeah, these are old.
That's a sniper. I think this
not
is
showing your age, but anyways, thanks, Raj.
Yeah, no problem.
Rob's got the sniper head there.
Yeah. What the hell is that shit? That's green mush crap.
Dryer lint
Well,
tied
when
to a
you want to
hook.
grow
Thank
up
you, Dave.
and
Dave
fish,
has got that right.
when you want to grow up and actually fish man stuff, then let me know and I'll teach you.
Let's see. I'm 60 and I got to grow up. I appreciate that, bro. You're good.
Maybe in
Cool.
10 more years.
10 more years.
So,
Sorry. This is all inner fighting between the four of us. We all get along, but we fight about this.
yeah, it's like we're like a typical family freaking get together.
Right. We love each other, but yeah, we hate each other. So anyways,
so what do you got coming up for Spawn? Anything that you want to that you can kick out? I'm not asking for exclusive, but I mean,
no, yeah. I mean, we have a bunch of stuff that we're always working on. That's for sure. The next things that will be released are fluorescent colors of football beads. We've teased that already. We have them here in the shop. We don't have a mass produced, but we have like the samples here in the shop. And then yeah, I don't know. We'll just continue to work on this shop. I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, it seems like
dude, I've been watching you grind for years.
So like this year we stocked a lot of outside products. Like we opened a fly shop, and we brought in sims. You know, we brought in fly bins, we brought in reels, we brought in fly lines. So like we did a lot of things that next year we won't have to do. You know, like they'll already be in the kind of system, you know.
Yeah. So
we want to like revert back to who we are and what we do, and that's make fly tying products. So you'll see a bunch of that kind of stuff coming. And we also, I mean, Ryan's repping one right now. I mean, we will never be a clothing brand store, but we did make hats for the first time, and it was cool. I mean, to see people get them, and it's cool to see people rock our brand. And
right, you know,
merchandise is generally where companies lose money. So it's not something you build a brand, then you build the merchandise. So we've been working on building the brand. Now we'll add a couple t-shirts. We have 4 hats now. And that's not something that's like, oh, we're going to release a pair of Spawn waders. That's not what I meant when I said like we're going to release some branded stuff. But it'll be simple, you know. It'll just be a couple hats, a couple t-shirts, a couple beanies.
Yeah, because that's not your lane. I mean, you're
no, exactly.
Your time material, and you're not into.
Yeah, we'll continue to build out to the Spawn branded stuff on fly tying.
I do need a sticker, by the way.
Yeah. We do have a lot of stickers.
I think I actually, if you haven't, because they're still the same one, right? Or do you guys get new ones?
No, actually, I don't know. We haven't released any new stickers in a while, but we do have quite a few.
So
we have one that has a tune on it that says Iwako. It's pretty cool.
By the way, how are you still running with the taco? You still running the taco around, driving it?
Oh yeah, she's
dude,
right out in the parking
those
lot.
character marks are fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Which taco do you have?
2009 Tacoma.
Ooh, I got a 2019.
So yeah, he's spoiled.
Oh yeah.
I miss fishing with
mine
you,
twice.
Yeah, I miss.
It's got a lot of dents in it too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, he's.
Trips.
I just waxed mine.
Fishing trips.
Mine looks good. I waxed it this week. That's how good mine is.
No, I don't think mine's ever been waxed.
No, I've never done mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna upgrade in 2 years. Not the new Tundras are coming out.
Yeah, I don't like the looks of them.
The V6 with the dual turbo, and I'm gonna wait a year on it and let them have a year of developing that.
Yeah, so, I don't even know anything.
Yeah, you're all fishing it. Cool, it's cool.
So one thing that I know that you me use, Josh, that we're pretty like in depth with that we have to have around here. What's some resources and how do you recon inland? I know Ryan hit you up on the open water. How do you recon the inland?
Yeah, so a lot of these areas, first I'll look on Onyx maps and try and find out where the public access point is. That's generally what I look for first, and then look to see like where I think somebody hasn't been in a while. Yeah. And then when it comes to sea run cutthroat, it's proximity to saltwater. So like, can I get somewhere where I don't think somebody's been, that has public access within like a certain proximity to the saltwater to hold these anadromous fish. And then I'll recon them different times throughout the year, and see when and where and what they're eating and that kind of stuff. And I've been doing that a lot lately down here, because when people do come in here, we don't have a ton of foot traffic yet, but when people do come in, they want to know about the local area. Like, where do you go to fish? And the jetty is not something I sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for anybody experienced.
And like the all these streams out here are really, really cool. Some of them are hard to access, but when you do get back in there and get off the beaten path a little bit, some of these areas are really cool. And they're challenging though. Like I think Ryan had a question in there about spooky fish, and when these big cutthroat come into these areas, I mean, you maybe have 2 casts at them. I mean, that if you present it right, they'll eat it. That's the beauty about this species, is they're very opportunistic. Yep. But if you blow it or like walk up on them and they see you, like they'll go into the root wad and you're gonna have to come back, sort of thing. But that's a lot of what I do, is I look to see where I can get to that people haven't been, and then see what's there, like a lot of times. And then once I figure out what's there, that's when I'll like I have my on my app, it's just like marker point.
Mine is too.
Marker point, and it's just like when, where, what, how, why, like.
Yeah. So how's your success up there for, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Pacific Northwest has a big amount of public water.
Yeah.
But when you start getting into areas like when we first linked up, like Portland, Wilsonville, areas like that, where it's a lot of private water along the sides that we're trying to chase, what's your kind of success rate? Are you getting a lot of like welcome people when you come up to try to say, hey, can I get access on your land? Are you getting turned down a lot, or is it kind of 50-50?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely pick and choose who and where I ask, and definitely how I ask. A lot of times, if I'm going to walk up to your door and ask you for permission, I generally have a piece of salmon in my hand or a piece of halibut in my hand.
Yep.
Nice.
And there's a lot. I don't see it that when I'm out there, but a lot of these individuals are generally reluctant, but they appreciate me coming to their door, and being respectful of the fact that this is their property. And if in a lot of cases, it's been really welcoming, honestly. Like they might have a no trespassing sign out front, but you go knock on their door and you talk to them, you get to know them a little bit, and maybe they say no, but then they see you in town and they're like, or they come into the shop and they're like, you know what? Yeah, like you want to come down there, just don't bring anybody, and come knock on the door and whatnot. And it's been cool. I mean, I've been working really hard to become a big part of this community down here, and getting to know some people and figuring out who to ask and talk to. And it's been good. I mean, I've been turned down, like not locally here, but
yeah,
I've never been one to like shy away from knocking on somebody's door. Like the worst thing they could do is say no, or I mean, pull out a shotgun. But like that,
that would be the worst. Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna happen when you like trespass. But like,
yeah,
you pick, like I said, you pick and choose who.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can tell by the
you usually
before
can
you
get
go
a read for what's gonna happen, if that's gonna happen. So yeah, and just kind of, I mean, I always tell them who I am first, like, and then go into the fact that like I'm interested in catching or seeing if there's cutthroat in the river down here, or fly fishing for salmon, or this or that. And for the most part, it's been really good.
Good stuff. It's just like, it's what a lot of people realize, that that's kind of why I brought it up, because I mean, you've seen kind of the area where I live. I mean, we're living in a very farming, logging community, and it just it shows. That's why if you're using the Onyx app, which is amazing, like I said, I use it too. Just give that extra few minutes to walk up to the door, even if you have rights on the bank. I mean, a lot of our water is navigable, and so we can go in.
And whatnot, yeah.
And so, I mean, instead of just saying, "Oh, I can jump on the bridge and run this line," and then get into the same way, and then the aspect of it and stuff. So, I mean, it's just
I would love
good.
to live on the river someday, and somebody come knock on my door and this and that. I can't see myself saying no, honestly.
And I think that goes for pretty much, you know, I mean, that's all over, man. You know, that's Pacific Northwest. You get every state's kind of unique, you know, as far as its water rights and access and all that. Which that's a whole nother conversation, but you're going about it the right way. And, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's just, hey, you know, be respectful and be kind. And, you know, like you said, I mean,
worst that could happen is
they're like, no, I don't want you on my property. Okay, cool, fine, I'll go somewhere else. You know,
yep,
I'm gonna go down to your neighbor's house, talk to them. What's their name, by the way?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not cool, man. So talking more, you said you have visitors coming to the shop. I've been meaning to ask you, man. You just recently found something out about your shop, didn't you?
Yeah, so I mean, there's not a lot of people that come in, and we're working really hard to get more people to come in. Given that I have to be here all day, not like right now. There's so much stuff for me to do as far as this and that, but at some point, I hope there will be less projects on the building and more time to be in the front of the shop. And I hope at that point there will be more foot traffic, because if I didn't have anything to do right now and I was just to sit right where I'm at today, there'd be some pretty boring moments. But we do get a lot of people that are interested in it, and that's kind of where we see ourselves as being good at. Like how do you get somebody to take that first step into fly fishing or fly tying, or even jig tying is a lot of our first kind of step into this whole realm, I guess, is to pick up a vise or to pick up a rod and reel. And that's been really cool. I mean, because we're in an area in Washington that is not fly fishing centric. So it's been a challenge, but it's really cool because we get to be there for a lot of these people's. There's been like probably 5 or 6 people that have stepped into the sport for the first time in the last 13 weeks. Cool. Since we opened our doors, and seeing the progression already is really cool. You know, they come in after they catch that first fish, they show you the picture, and it means something to us, and it's really cool to be a part of that, like that start into a path that everybody on this feed knows is like long. Like,
it's like
it's not going to get any better. It's just going to get worse. You know? I mean, they start out with a 5-weight. Next thing you know, like, he's going to show up with whole
4 and a 6.
Somebody at a garage sale, and he's just going to be like, "What do I do?"
Yep.
So did you guys have? Because you guys figured out that you had something behind your walls, huh?
Oh yeah.
What's the story behind that?
So this lady came in a couple days ago, and was like, she's like, "You're sitting. Nobody knows this." This was a direct quote. "Nobody knows this, but you're sitting on a gold mine." And I was like,
"What?
I've been waiting for something like this my whole time."
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
I'm like, okay, what is this? Because I could really use a gold. This is gonna make things way better. And then she's like, "There's a hidden mural behind one of your walls." And I was like, okay, not a gold mine, but
still cool.
Very cool. Like, let's
expand upon that.
Yeah, and then she like, we don't let people in the back of our shop, but she was like trying to explain this to me, and I was just like, okay, like, show me which wall. Like, we walk back there, and then she shows me, and I was just like, it was an interesting interaction, to say it nicely. Like it was really bizarre. It was really bizarre, and she was a nice lady, but the whole thing was weird, you know. And she like then like goes in to tell us some history about the building, which we don't know too much about it. When we purchased it from the bank, and we didn't even get a blueprint of it, you know. So it's like,
is that a foreclosure? Is that what you bought it out of?
Yeah, it was a foreclosure. So like, there's trees growing in the parking lot.
Right. They're like that we want you to buy this cheap, but we're gonna get as much money we can from you.
Yeah, exactly. So and the back half was an old dentist office, like an old one. And so she like shows us which wall it is, and then leaves. And I like look over at my buddy, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna cut a hole in the wall.
Like, why would you? Why would
I was like, our building, like,
yeah, you own it. What the hell? Let's go.
I did though, like cut too big of a hole initially. Like, I'm glad that it was actually back there, because this was like it would have been a more substantial patch job had it not been there.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So I just
right?
like take a razor blade and I just like run it down and run it open, and then I look over at my buddy and I'm like, dude,
we just screwed up our brand new building.
That was a big hole.
I was like, there's actually a mural there, and he's like, no way. And then he like comes back, and there's like a video of me, and it's like of me filming him, and he like pulls it back, and there's it. I mean, I haven't uncovered the whole thing because I was fishing this weekend, and
we get it.
Dude, it looks awesome so far.
We uncovered a huge section of this mural, and it apparently, like, the lady said that it wraps the whole back corner of the building, and was painted in like the 60s or something like that.
Oh, dude, that's so cool.
Oh, so it was a painting, not tile inlays. It was a actual painting.
Yeah, it's a mural.
Yeah, that's a proper painting.
It's like, really, that's really popular. I've really noticed it here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, we have our town, we have sections like that, little towns like that. I've really noticed that the sides of the buildings were like everybody.
What'll be cool is it looks like it's localized, so it has like historic landmarks in the in the picture. So I'm hoping that it shows Owako at somewhere in there. And it'll be cool to see like what it kind of used to look like.
Oh,
like
that'd be so cool.
And this is in your storage area?
It's just in the back of the shop. Yeah.
Right. My point is the public won't see it unless you somehow.
Oh, it'll be
this area will never be open to the public. So it'll just be for us.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, no. I moved from California to Ohio, and I thought, oh, California, the history is 50 years old. Ohio's 200 plus.
Yeah.
So when you run into the stuff, it's just unique and cool. And can you expose it? Not that you want to expose it for financial gain, just to let people know, hey,
yeah, I don't think it's worth any money.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe it is, but it's not like something I can cut out of my wall. I can't cut
right, no. You know, I didn't mean
I
that.
wonder, my thing is,
doesn't have like Banksy spray painted on it.
It could if you work it right. It could if you do it right.
But my thing is,
what it does have is a story now, though.
Yeah,
which it's cool.
It's like I want to know how she is she like just being a local, being in the area for so long. Was it?
Yeah, she was
painted before your store went in.
It was painted before the store that was before my store went in, because there was like a.
So you were like an alleyway probably prior.
What?
It was probably like an alleyway prior or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, I mean, it's like it's not concrete. Yeah, it's like concrete. So, but it borders the building next to us. So like we're in a downtown area. So we have buildings that touch us on.
Downtown where? Downtown where?
He's only said it like 10 fucking times. You
cannot say that enough. I'm like pulling it up on my phone. My phone goes, El Guapo? What the hell?
Jesus, you fucking boomer.
You have internet?
No, I don't. I got to pull a rope first. I'm that old.
Cool.
Wait a minute. I'll pull the rope. Okay, here we go.
So, hey, by the way, for people that are interested, I mean, what's your closest town that people would recognize? What are you closest to that people would know? Hey, shut up, Gary.
I'm just trying to help you.
What town are you closest to?
Astoria is 20 minutes away.
Okay, so you're like right there at the mouth then. I mean, man,
yeah, we are right at the mouth of the Columbia.
Oh, awesome. And so I know I do know where he's at, and so
I got proper sunburn today. It looks like.
Yeah, you did. You freaking. But so
yeah,
I mean,
put
it's
some
just
olive
like
oil
you
on
got
there.
you got some beautiful area in there and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
So.
really cool.
Procter Gamble
No,
product for my retirement.
Waco's pretty cool.
It's kind of like the hidden little gym on the corner.
Not anymore. Thank you very much. Thanks. It's Josh's fault, not ours.
No, that's okay. Come and
that's right. Josh has
spend
got a
money at
business
all the
there.
local shops and
Yep.
stay at the hotels.
Josh,
and come,
it's called
come
Spawn Fly Fishing? Is that the name of our shop?
Spawn Fly Fish. Just
Spawn Fly
Fish.
I know. I just want to make sure I pronounce it right, so when they Google it, we can find it.
Fucking boomer.
Cool, dude. So, would you you grew up you said you grew up kind of spin fishing with your dad, right?
Yep.
So, knowing now, you transitioned over to fly fishing. You said your dad likes to fly fish a little bit too. If you could go back to your younger self at the time, is there anything that you would tell yourself that you know
now? In terms of just life, or just in terms of the business, or in terms of
mainly for fishing related?
For fishing related, yeah. I would have liked to. I would have liked to tell myself to do more of it early on, or not get away from it, I guess. So, and I think it's common. Like, I've listened to a couple of podcasts where some of these big time names that we hear about fishing in general, like, get away. And I was really into it as a young kid, and then through college and the couple of years before college, I mean, soccer engulfed my whole life, which is great. Like, I was able to have such a fortunate career path, but there was time. I mean, there was time that I could have gone out and explored some different areas that I had the unique opportunity to visit. So I would just tell myself to, especially in my college years, like, to get out and explore a little more, and don't take for granted that where you're at, because you never know when you're going to go back. And I figured that out later as I played, but I didn't figure that out early when I played. So that was something that I'd tell myself, is always bring a rod with you. I mean, I got an 8-piece travel rod from Echo that's freaking sweet.
Nice.
You stick it in any backpack. I mean,
heck yeah.
You never know when you're going to be back. Like, that's the thing. Like, I used to be on 75 flights a year, and I haven't left Oahu for more than 24 hours in the last year, because I've been working so much. So it's like, you don't know when. So bring one with you.
Awesome, man.
We definitely need to fish.
Yeah.
I extremely enjoyed fishing with you the few times that I did, and we definitely need to do that again.
Good time. It was
We had some.
I'm pretty dialed in. Like, I'm there to try and catch fish.
I tell you, you have pure passion, because that time we went down and we were chasing when I got that bass, I made so these guys, Ryan knows, but I made Josh come out, get in a boat that had a small leak in it, that air leak, and then kick all, like, what, for 3 or 4 hours after he just got done with leg day for soccer practice.
Damn. Nice guy.
And so I mean, it's like straight dedication. I mean, it's just like, I love it.
Oh no, I was all in. I'm all in. If there's like a mountain that we got to climb over to go to some secret fishing hole of Ryan's, like, no problem. Like, what time do I got to be there? Like,
hell yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I love it, man. It's your story inspires me. I feel very humble and blessed to call you friend, and being able to watch you grow from pretty much ground to start. I mean,
you and Ryan have been there for a long day. One,
I remember seeing in the pics and the blanks and the stuff from the very first original. I still have the original spawn heads, and it's just
hang
like,
on to those. I don't have very many of them.
And it's just like, and I love them, and it's just like, and it's just, I think it's one of the spot on projects. I love that you never gave up. It's just like, we're not going to go extremely depth in it, because you've told it probably a million times. Everybody knows your backstory on what it was when you first fired up. And you stayed with it. and it showed. I mean, it's just like it's your passion for your customers is what's pushing you forward, and it's just like dude, I guarantee you, I cannot wait for the day that it's right now. I mean, just in my heart, you're already in the same category as Sims, but you're gonna be there, dude. You're gonna be
If
there.
I was in the same category as Sims, I'd be like calling up every one of you day one customers and be like, tomorrow we're fishing.
Right on.
I'd be like, Ryan, tomorrow I'm gonna be there. Figure it out. Like,
figure it out, bud.
So
Too
I'm
bad
waiting.
That gold mine wasn't there.
I'm waiting for the
I
day, dude.
appreciate that.
Because it's coming. I mean, it's just like you keep doing everything you're doing, man, and I'm thoroughly impressed.
Awesome. That means a lot, man. It really does. Appreciate it.
You know, just meeting you tonight and talking to you, I'm with Rob 100%. Your passion and your love for it is amazing. We appreciate it. We hope the good things for you in the future, buddy.
Definitely.
Thank you. And when Ryan reached out, like I'm glad that we were able to connect and didn't even hesitate for 1 second. I was like, yeah, no, I'm there. Like, so I'm thankful for you guys having us and appreciate you guys' time and all that good stuff. And hopefully our paths cross. I know for sure Rob and I as well, and I'm very confident Ryan and I as well, and Dave and
Stan the man.
Stan the
old man.
Our paths will cross at some point and
for sure
hit the water or something. But
it was great having you on. It was nice to meet you, Josh.
Yeah,
I hope we do get to fish someday.
Yeah, no, and if not, I'll just continue. You guys keep fishing, so I have something to live vicariously through. While I uncover some secret murals in the back of an abandoned trying to sell bucktails. So.
Good stuff. Thank you, Josh.
It's like welcome to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Well, cool. This has been Josh from Spunfly, and you have listened to Set You Free Outdoors podcast.